I got this 50 amp plasma cutter off eBay. It's the Cut 50, obviously says right on it. Came double boxed, which was kind of a bonus. Torch was fully assembled, and you got the ground clamp, bag of consumables, the regulator and hose and some fittings. I had to put all that on myself. The instruction manual was very good, very straightforward. Didn't come with a plug on it, so I just put a standard plug on it because I'm going to run it off of 110 volts at 20 amps, but my 20 amp plug's over there, so I've got like 50 feet of extension cord to plug into to get here. That's the shortest one I've got, so that'll be an extra test if you've got it, kind of plugged into something. So we're going to cut it a couple, 3 pieces of random thicknesses of metal here, and see how it works. So I'll turn you back on here in just a second. Looks like we've got a little bit of an air leak to fix, but I'm sure it's going to work out for us. The barbed fittings that came with the unit seem to have very rounded edges on them. So I'm going to swap them out with, this is the only ones I have, is one like this. I'll have to put an adapter, but they got a really nice sharp edge on it here. So hopefully that'll solve the problem. Okay, I got the air leak all patched up. It's good now. I got the dial set at about 30 amps. Kick it on. You got to remember, I'm on a 50-foot 12-gauge cord plugged into 110 at 20 amps. So I'm going to set this up to 30 amps output, and I've got about 80 psi on that gauge. I'll throw you in the holder and see how it cuts some of these random pieces of material. Okay, first off, I've got a piece of 55 thou sheet metal. Get it cut right off here. Piece of 125 thou. Like it's struggling a little bit. Maybe it's just me. I've never done this before. This is my first time. Okay, I got that sorted out. Forgot that outlet that I plugged into shares one side of the 220 circuit with the air compressor, and the double breaker, only one side of it kicked off, leaving one side live. And both the air compressor and the plasma cutter were trying to pull power from the same spot. So we got that fixed up, and let's see if we can cut through this plate again. Still set at 30 amps. That was a pretty decent cut. Like could have used maybe a little more juice, but good cut. Shut you off while the air compressor charges back up. Okay, ready to go again. I'm going to see how well it cuts. Still at 30 amps on the 20 amp circuit, 110 volts through the 185 thou wall thickness on this square tubing. There you go, folks. Cut right through that. It was slow, but it cut it. And so, according to the instructions, the higher I force the amp output up, the more draw it will have on the circuit. So 30 amps on a 30 amps output on the 110 volt 20 amp circuit cut this material quite satisfactorily.